Hello and welcome back to 4FS Gaming. I apologise about it being so long since my last video, but it is all sorted out just in time for me to jump over on the test server for Hunt Showdown and try out two of the most interesting pieces of content that we've been given since the Lawson Delta map. The new boss, the Assassin, and a new weapon, the Bomblance. Both of these seem really well designed. They are interesting, exciting, and I did some testing to try and figure out some of the mechanics around how they actually function. Now, although this video will present a lot more information than some of the other videos you may have seen on the topic, it is by no means a comprehensive guide to the Bomblance and the Assassin, as I'll wait till they hit the live servers in their final forms for that one. So what is the Bomblance? Think of it as a large slot melee weapon that can also shoot explosive bolts. Primarily, its job is to whack things. The light attack is very strong. It has a wide arc, it can cut down several grunts simultaneously, and it's enough to kill most enemies in a single light swing. Armoreds will need 2 light swings, as will immolators, and meatheads will need a few more. These light attacks are surprisingly rapid for a weapon of this size. They also use only a small amount of stamina, so you can use it to clear out mobs with extreme efficiency. The heavy swing will be able to one-shot pretty much everything. The exception here is meatheads, and provided you hit the weak points, it takes about 3 hits to take it down. It also does decent damage to bosses, comparable to that of the combat axe. It does, however, take up a lot more stamina, so you can only swing 3 times before recovering. But what about players? Well, the melee, not surprisingly, is very good against players as well. A heavy attack will obviously kill no matter where you hit, but even the light attacks are devastating, as we can see here. A light hit to the body will deal around 125 damage plus bleed, and the light attack to the legs will still deal over half health, meaning that 2 swings guarantees a kill, and if an opponent has taken any previous damage, just hit them with a light attack and it should do the job. Then of course there is the bomb part of the Bomblance. You will spawn with 6 explosive spikes that you can launch from the lance. They travel in an arc, similar to that of the explosive crossbow. If they hit a target, it is a death sentence. Even meatheads will get blown apart instantly. The butcher itself merely requires 2 of these bad boys and boom. No more butcher.
Oh, 50%. Nice.
The reload animation to prime another explosive is rather lengthy, and the explosion of course makes a lot of noise. You will also need to be hitting your targets directly with the explosive, because otherwise the splash damage is minimal. The shot is notoriously hard to aim with no ability to aim down sights. There is always a horizontal variance to where it will land. This can be reduced a fair bit by just standing still or crouching, but it means that at long range guaranteeing a hit will come partially down to luck, even if you are great at adjusting for the projectile curve. All of this, combined with the fact that there is a delay even once you hit a target before they explode, means that it really isn't the greatest against players, unless you are ambushing with it, and even then it seems far more reliable to simply run up and whack them with the melee element of this weapon.
How much ammo you got? Oh, that actually did. I only took 1 HP for some reason, and then I blew up.
The explosive bolt seems to be far better used to quickly take down bosses and eliminate tough enemies at high speeds, rather than duel other hunters. However, killing a hunter with this is probably the most satisfying way you can make a kill in the game at the moment. Overall, it is a really fun weapon, and one which I think we're going to see a lot of when it hits the live servers, despite its quite high price point at $330. Then we have the Assassin. This massive insect materializes into a humanoid monster that, from what I can gather, has 3 attack/abilities. There is a ranged spike throw attack that deals around 30 damage plus bleed, a close-up slash that deals 50 damage plus bleed, and a disruption, where if you stay close, a number of bugs will jump on you and obscure your vision. Now these are all reasonably difficult to evade, as it seems you can't just sprint around the boss lair to stay away from him like you can with the other bosses. However, much like the spider, the assassin stops still before unleashing his attacks, and he'll rear up into human form first. This is your best opportunity to damage him, and it will also stun him out of his attack phase. Attacking while he is a mass of beetles will deal very little damage. I also want to debunk a few myths as well. The assassin is not vulnerable to fire or poison. They both damage him, but fire only really does the job while he's standing in it, and poison does less damage per unit than against the butcher, even while he is in humanoid form. Explosives do work really well, however they are also very unreliable, as he must be in humanoid form to take the full brunt of the damage and not be moving erratically, which is what he does most of the time. Maybe it's just because he is new, but it does seem from these initial impressions that the assassin is more threatening than the other two bosses, who can be dispatched in mere seconds. Regardless, his design and aesthetic, they're great, and I love the pressure and tension he brings with his bleeding attacks. Also, fighting him with the Bomblance is really fun. If you get a solid hit off and it explodes inside him while he's still in humanoid form, boom, that's half his health gone. The 6.0 update is also bringing an assortment of other interesting gear, such as the Lebel long ammo rifle and the Lamat revolver, not to mention new tools and consumables like the concertina and flare traps, or the portable ammo boxes. And from what I have played, all of these seem like they have a really interesting place in the game, and I'm certainly planning to explore these further and do a bit of a comparison between the Lebel rifle and the Mosin, because they're reasonably similar in function. If you want to connect with the 4FS community, please feel free to find our Discord server linked in the description below. Ask questions in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. This is Ascendance from 4FS Gaming.